Has your child ever talked back, and the more you tried to explain, the worse things became? Just one sentence said in 3 seconds can completely change the direction of the situation. In this video, I'll share the 3-second rule that helps you hold your boundaries without arguing, without yelling, and without escalating the conflict. If you've ever felt exhausted by the same repeated back-and-forth struggles, stay until the end and try this approach. And if you'd like to learn more methods to help your family feel calmer each day, make sure to follow so you don't miss the next videos. The 3-second response, the golden rule. Instead of giving long explanations, arguing, or lecturing when your child talks back, you should apply the 3-second response. Explaining too much often only makes the situation more tense and creates more opportunities for the child to continue arguing. The golden rule here is to respond quickly, briefly, and clearly. The 3-second response needs to ensure 3 important elements. First is brevity. You should use only one single sentence. One clear sentence does not open up extra space for back-and-forth debate or rebuttal. The more you say, the more chances your child has to continue arguing. Second is neutrality. Your tone of voice should remain calm without showing anger, sarcasm, or negative emotions. The goal is not to win the argument, but to maintain boundaries in a composed way. Third is consistency. Every time your child talks back, you need to respond in the same way. Consistent repetition helps your child understand that your reaction does not change based on temporary emotions. Below are specific phrases you can use in different situations. When your child is being disrespectful, you can say, "Try saying that again in a more respectful way." When your child is yelling or overly emotional, you can use, "Mom, Dad will listen when you're calm." Or, "That tone isn't going to work." When your child keeps pushing to change your decision, an appropriate response is asked and answered. These sentences are short, neutral, and can be repeated multiple times without additional explanation. The key is to respond within 3 seconds, keep the message the same, and avoid expanding the conversation beyond the chosen sentence. Why can explaining backfire? Many parents tend to explain their decisions in great detail. This is a natural response because most of us genuinely want our children to understand what is right, what is wrong, and why a rule exists. However, in moments when a child is talking back or emotionally escalated, lengthy explanations often do not produce the desired effect. In fact, they can make the situation more complicated. The first reason is that the child's brain is essentially closed. When a child is angry, frustrated, or overwhelmed, the emotional brain takes over. In this state, they are not able to process logic or reasoning effectively. No matter how accurate or reasonable your explanation may be, it is unlikely to be heard or processed calmly. Instead of understanding the issue, the child tends to react from heightened emotion. The second reason is that arguing can unintentionally turn rules into negotiations. When parents engage in back-and-forth debate, children may learn that rules are not firm. If they resist strongly enough or prolong the argument long enough, the rule might change. This makes boundaries unclear and sets a precedent for future pushback. The third reason is that explaining during tense moments can add fuel to the child's emotions. When parents talk more, their tone can become more intense or frustrated. That intensity stimulates the child's emotional brain, often leading to stronger reactions rather than calming down. For these reasons, lengthy explanations, while a child is emotionally charged, usually do not increase understanding. They simply prolong and intensify the interaction. The process to follow when your child talks back. When a child talks back, what matters is not only the sentence you use, but also how you carry out the entire process. Instead of reacting emotionally in the moment, you can follow clear and consistent steps to prevent the situation from escalating. The first step is to pause. Before saying anything, give yourself a few seconds to regulate. This pause helps you avoid responding out of frustration or losing control. When you are calmer, your tone and attitude will naturally be more neutral in line with the principle you've set. The second step is to deliver the 3-second response. Use one of the neutral phrases mentioned earlier, such as, "Try saying that again in a more respectful way," or "Mom, Dad will listen when you're calm." The key is to use only one sentence, no added explanation, no arguing, no expanding. The response must be brief, clear, and consistent. The third step is to stop talking and walk away. This is the most important part of the entire process. After giving your response, do not wait for an apology, do not continue explaining, and do not engage further in the discussion. If your child continues arguing or escalates, you can say, "I can see you're too upset to talk right now. We'll try again later." Then calmly remove yourself from the situation. The final step is to reconnect once both of you are calm. Only when your child has relaxed, their breathing has slowed, and they are able to make eye contact should you return to discuss what happened. At that point, you can review the situation together and teach more effective calm problem-solving skills. Following these steps consistently helps maintain clear boundaries without further escalating the situation. A note on the extinction burst phase. When you begin applying a new approach and stop engaging in arguments with your child, their behavior may not improve right away. In fact, for a short period, often toward the end of the first week, the backtalk or defiant behavior may actually get worse. This is known as an extinction burst. During this phase, your child will test the new limits you have set. If arguing, whining, or resisting previously led you to change your decision, then when you no longer respond the same way, your child may intensify their behavior to see if the old rules still apply. They may yell louder, speak more harshly, or react more strongly to check whether this will make you give in. It is important to understand that this temporary increase does not mean the method is ineffective. It is simply a test of the new boundaries. If you remain consistent in your chosen response, without returning to arguments or shifting your limits, your child will gradually realize that arguing no longer produces the desired outcome. When your child understands that stronger resistance still does not change the decision, the behavior will begin to decrease. Over time, both the frequency and intensity of backtalk will weaken and may eventually disappear. Setting clear and consistent boundaries plays a crucial role in this process. When children know exactly what is expected and what will happen if they cross the line, uncertainty decreases. Clarity helps children feel safer because their environment becomes more predictable and stable. As tension decreases, the level of resistance within the family also declines. Consistency not only helps regulate behavior, but also contributes to a calmer and more orderly atmosphere in daily interactions. Ultimately, what matters most is not saying more, but saying it the right way at the right time. The 3-second rule is not about control or force, it's about maintaining clear boundaries without escalating the situation. When you remain calm, brief, and consistent, your child will gradually understand that arguing does not change the decision, and the family environment becomes more stable. However, this method is not an instant fix and does not replace professional guidance. If your child's behavior goes beyond typical challenges or you feel the situation has become overwhelming, consider seeking support from a qualified professional. If you found this helpful, leave a comment and share your experience. And if you'd like to continue learning ways to make parenting calmer and clearer, don't forget to follow the channel so you won't miss the next videos.